proposed installing dozens of additional utility boxes on our sidewalks instead of underground. Each one is 4 feet tall by 4.5 feet wide by 2.5 feet deep, about the size of a small refrigerator, and they will be buzzing audibly all day. So,
What are you really?
we thought of this question. Great question. So, how do you feel about AT&T's right to create this visual and audible blight in San Francisco?
There was a couple of neighbors in Glen Park told me about how they're actually companies are putting boxes on telephone poles with no notice to the neighbors. So if AT&T wanted to put its boxes on telephone poles, there'd be no notice, and all of a sudden you'd see these, it's like wireless antennas and things that may or may not cause cancer depending on what you think about it. Long story short, we need to test to see if these are right. Is there going to be a health hazard? Whether or not they are going to be noisy, and if that's going to be an issue, that's something we need to fix. But there seems to me there needs to be more neighborhood input, investigation, before I can take an official position on it. You got to have something that's not going to, in terms of the neighborhood character and preservation, you can't have a box on every corner because that's it's going to skew up everything. And so I'm going to have to look at that issue more closely when elected.
All right, Bill.
Yeah, this is the first I'm hearing about it, but I would not be supportive of this at all. I think it'd deter from the attraction of our neighborhoods. And, I'm a huge proponent of burying our PG&E lines. I've done that on a couple blocks in neighborhoods that I've been homeowner in. So no, I would probably fight this one. Thanks.
Rafael.
Well, this strikes me as an interesting example of the kind of issue where, frankly, corporate influence can affect a public decision. AT&T is a good corporate citizen in San Francisco, provides a lot to the community, and befriends politicians. It is really important that politicians invest their time in speaking, in talking with the community that is affected by the decision of what a corporation like AT&T wants. So. I don't know enough about the issue, but I think it's really important for any of us to spend a lot of time talking to you about what you want.
So I do know about the issue because when I was president of EVNA, we dealt with it because that's when it was proposed. And at the time, I was against it, putting these refrigerators out on our sidewalk. They're huge. It may come back again. None of us can take a position on it because there could be an appeal, CEQA appeal. And if we take a position, we could be conflicted out. So I will consider all the facts and circumstances, but when I was president of my neighborhood association and it was proposed the first time, I thought it was a bad idea.
All right.